I think I found an engine for the RX-8.
Seriously, I just had it.
After hours of searching the internet, I found an engine that is in running condition for a decent price for the RX-8. I'm hoping that I can get this thing loaded up and get it home and run a compression test, and hopefully we don't need to break it down and, you know, rebuild it, reseal it, do all that other fun, happy nonsense that you got to do to rotaries. Keep our fingers crossed here. We're going to get things loaded up here shortly and then hop back on the freeway and head home. Well, there she is, all strapped in, ready to rock and roll. Prep for the 3.5-hour ride home. Special thanks to Jeremy at Highline Auto for making this happen. And yeah, cool. Let's get her home. I've made it home with the 13B Nemesis. It's sitting in the back of the truck. I want to take a little bit of a closer look as to what's going on with this thing. It's not very pretty on the outside, but the same could be said about anything. It's what's on the inside that counts. So we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at what we've got going on here. I'm going to pull some spark plugs and hopefully see some apex seals in there. I should not be as nervous as I am right now, but I kind of am, if I'm to be honest. You know, you spend all the time and effort and all of that to travel and pick up an engine, and internal stuff just completely unknown. Let's pull these lower plugs out, see if we can peek through and find some apex seals. Okay, 1 on the front, 2 on the front, 3 on the front. Woo! Let's go to the back. 1 on the back, 2 on the back, 3 on the back. Phew! All the apex seals are there. They're all intact. The rotors look pretty clean, which was a good sign. There was a little bit of gum and carbon buildup on the rotors. The next step for me is going to be put a little bit of oil in there on each of the rotor faces just to kind of lubricate things up a little bit. So let's grab a starter and mad scientist some stuff here. All right, I've got my Goofy set up here. I've got the battery, some jumper cables, some wirings, the starter's in, the rotary compression tester is hooked up, and we're ready to rock and roll. It says begin cranking. So I'm just going to touch this to here, crank this guy over, see if I can get a reading from the rotary compression tester. Don't try this at home, kids. Okay, as far as numbers go, we have 72, 79, 70, 95, 105, 93 corrected. So I'm actually pretty happy with those numbers on the front side. You know, correction for altitude and all of that stuff. This thing does everything kind of automatically. To see numbers in the 90s and 100s, I'm very happy with that front rotor. So let's try the rear rotor. So far, everything's gone pretty smoothly with this, and I gotta say, I'm pretty nervous about this, and I'm just gonna bow my head and say a little prayer to the rotary gods and hope that this thing puts out some decent numbers. Well, you can imagine my disappointment when the numbers show 20, 20, 20, corrected 26, 26, 26. So I am losing compression in the rear rotor somewhere. Well, shit. Everything was going so smoothly. On that engine, it was the front rotor. On this engine, it's the rear rotor. I was really hoping that this thing would have good enough compression that I could just take off the peripherals, clean everything up, get the port actuators cleaned up, put everything back together and put this motor in. But it looks like it's going to need disassembled and rebuilt and new seals put in it and all that fun, happy stuff. It's pretty disappointing. I feel like I'm just striking out left and right with this RX-8. Stay tuned for the next episode where I disassemble this thing and pull it all apart, and the saga continues. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Well, guess I should get this thing out of the bed of the truck.